it working?
I think
We're
so.
going?
I think it's working, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my email. I call that Webinar Wednesday. That's what we should call it, Webinar Wednesday. We are excited to be with you guys tonight. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got lots of exciting stuff tonight. We're going to be talking about April lessons. We've got a giveaway. We've got Canva tips. What can they win in the giveaway? Tell the people what they could win.
We have a beautiful.
Oh yeah, we got a picture of it, or
set.
not a picture,
the
actual thing. Yeah.
Connie Ann will ship it to you if you win it.
Yeah, so guys, we're giving that away tonight. Welcome. I see people hopping on. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you're on spring break or if your spring break's. Did you say you're on spring break this week, Connie Ann?
Yeah.
Ooh, our spring break's not for like a month. There's like
no, we're always in March. So we're off this week, and then I have to go back next Monday, but the kids are still off next Monday. And then our last 9 weeks, and then we're done.
Hello, Angela. Hello, Sarah. The Pope's on. Rita, Jennifer, welcome. Yeah, let us know where you guys are tuning in. For our giveaway tonight, all you've got to do is comment at some point, and you're automatically entered. Let me make sure that's up and working.
Looks
Good,
like
it is working. Spring break next week. Ooh. Ours is the week after Easter as well, which is my birthday week, so I like that. So it begins with Easter weekend. We're just going to Indianapolis because the Final Four is in Indianapolis, so we're gonna check that out. I'm not optimistic on my Purdue Boilermakers making it to the Final Four, but that would be
kind of struggling lately.
That would be a miracle. That would be very well welcomed.
Oh, I also saw the Pacers are officially out for the playoffs.
They've been officially out.
We knew that was going to happen.
They've been officially out since November, so they're not very good. Welcome, guys.
Sorry, friends. If you commented March, you are getting the guide that your spring break is in March. You are being sent right now from our robot responder the free guide with all the amazing lessons that Connie Ann's about to talk about. So if you didn't comment March, if your spring break is in April, so you didn't get that message, you can comment March at any time and you will get the free guide with all of the lessons Connie Ann is going to talk about.
Oh, Katie knows what's up. March Madness ranks up there with Christmas. That's right. Next week is like a holiday, Thursday and Friday. It's like two of the best days of the year watching the first round of the tournament. Guys, welcome. Do we have anything else we need to announce?
Not announced, but we have some things we can tease. So Connie Ann and I have been working really hard behind the scenes. If you have been around for a while, you know that for the past few years, we have done a free summer book study, a STEM book study. So we are working on that. We are not. No, we're not. We're teasing the book study.
It's going to happen in June. Free book study in June.
Yes, book study is happening in June. We found a really great book. I looked at a couple and we found one that is very practical, has lots of ideas that you can implement, and we are super excited about the book. We are also in the process of planning the next summit, which we'll share. The theme for the summit this year is the building blocks of STEM. So we're talking about all of the pieces, putting all the different pieces together. There's so many different things when it comes to STEM, all the different subjects, the team building, the management, all of the materials, all of those things. So you will be prepared.
We're not sharing the title of the book, I guess.
We're not sharing the title of the book.
We're just going to hype it a little bit.
Next month.
You'll want to join
the April.
Yes.
The April.
We will be giving away a copy of the book study book during our next webinar. What is it? April
11th? Is it
8th?
No.
I was thinking that
today's the 11th. Never mind.
Today's the 11th. Yes, April 8th. Oh, that'll be on our spring break.
So join us April 8th. We will be sharing all about the book study and giving away a copy of the book.
Without further ado, we're going to hand it over to Connie Ann to talk about the April lesson plans and give Canva tips and all kinds of stuff. So Here
All right.
we go.
Thanks, guys. All right, so the year is trucking along. We are going to look at April. If you're new to the group, my name is Connie Ann Roussel. I'm in charge of literacy and innovation at Randolph Elementary School, where I get to teach pre-K through 5th grade STEM. And then I also get to plan curriculum with Carly and Adam. If you have any questions, you can reach me by email at roussel@rfisd.net. And you can find me on Instagram at STEMtasticMama. So like they said, tonight's giveaway is a Clixo pack. So Clixos, these are them. I don't have an open pack here at the house with me. They're all at my school. So these are really durable, like plastic, but flexible pieces that have magnets on them. What is also great about these for Makerspace, they are dishwasher safe. So on those heavy sick times in your school or during the summer, they're easy to clean. So you can keep those going. I use these from pre-K all the way up to 5th grade. So you are going to get this pack of 42 different pieces. My pre-Kers this week, when we were using them, notice that the ends of our tables are magnetic. So they were building off of that. As another fun way of doing it, they like making crowns and jewelry to wear. But also, if you're not tonight's winner, I also have a code from Clixo, so you can get 20% off if you use that code KRDU20. And that is good till June 1st. But yeah, so if you're looking for stuff, maybe you're trying to finish off that end of year funds that you have, I would definitely get some Clixo if you don't have them. This is the basic pack. There's also like a Mars rover pack. There's jewelry packs. There's sea animals. My kids love the birds pack there, where it actually shows them how to like make it where when they move their finger up and down, the wings flap. So Clixo is a great Makerspace addition. All right, so pre-K, we have 4 new pre-K lessons, and we're looking at different songs this month. So we have 5 little speckled frogs, and on this one we have the little frog hoppers. So it's kind of the idea with them about push and the effect of cause and effect. So as they push on the frog, it's going to hop, and we have some logs for the speckled frogs to jump on. These we all tried out with our pre-Kers this month as I was making these, and they had a lot of fun with them. I was able to get these frogs in like a giant pack. So what's nice with some of these, I was able to, with the frogs and the ducks, then they all got to take one home. But I did put them in a bag to send home with the teacher at the end of the day, so they weren't lost or a distraction for the teacher. Then the next one, 5 little ducks. So here I have those little lucky ducks that I don't know about your school, but any of these lucky ducks, lucky creatures are like a huge thing in our elementary school. And so they're taking the lucky ducks, putting them into the pond, and each card has a like grade circle. So they can put them in there, then they can count, and then they can practice their numbers on here. As I was trying this out, I noticed with some of my pre-Kers that they were like, I forgot which way the 5 goes. So in the slides, the numbers are on there. You can keep that slide up as a reminder for them of how they can practice writing their numbers. And then the next one in this set was row, row, row your boat. And we did sink or float with that. So we started with the little boats to illustrate that. And then whenever I do sink or float, with the littles, when I did my kindergarten dot day 1-2, the way I work it is I have them all at their table, and I'll tell like, okay, number 1, I would like you to pick up the ping pong ball, and I have them hold it up, make sure everyone has the right thing up, and then they're going to drop it in the water and see if it sinks or floats. So that kind of makes it a little bit more containable. The water stays mostly where it's supposed to be. I give them each a paper towel for after they're done to wipe it off. And then they put it into the side of sink or float. And then our last thing for pre-K is our centers. This is our last centers that we have right now for pre-K with the numbers. So you have a variety of them in there. With all of our pre-K centers, we have very simple, like one-word tasks on each card to make it easy for them, and a graphic along with it to keep them remembering what they're doing in each center. Kindergarten, we're going into McAnimals. So here, the farmer, there's like a tornado that comes by and they need to make some mechanical animals. And so here we're using 3 ducks to make them. And you can also expand on this one by adding a little battery and a motor and have them like jitter around. If you want to dive into that with kindergartners, or you can bump this up to an older grade, kind of work in that idea of circuits and motion by putting the motor in there. Then we have My Life as a Dandelion. So there's a great series by Capstone. My Life as a Dandelion now has, we were able to find the YouTube link for that. The other one, My Life as a Red-Eyed Tree Frog, does not have that. So you would just have to read it. But it's a great series. There's a bunch of them by Capstone. If you have Pebble Go and Capstone as part of your school, it is available on ebooks. So that's what I do is I take the slides and then I will go and I will link in my Capstone login so that I can click on it. It'll bring it right to the book and it'll read the book on Capstone ebooks for that. But here they're doing dandelions and they create a dandelion and they test dropping it to see how that works. Next, we're talking about insects with the Insect Detective. And in here, there's a bunch of different sorts for the students, like wings or no wings, if it is an insect or not an insect. And off of Amazon, I just got a bunch of plastic insects. I put them into different bins with the cards, and the kids get to go along talking. One of the great things about this is seeing where the kids catch on to things, especially with like the ladybug I have. Because the ladybug, they all know flies and has wings, but the way the plastic ladybug is, you can't see them. So it's interesting to see which kids pick up on that, and they actually have some really good conversations over that. And then our last one is My Life as a Red-Eyed Tree Frog. So we're talking about different animals, and here they're going to make a little mask with the animals with that. With those, I use a hole punch, one of those large hole punches, and to get the eyes, have them all set up beforehand, and then they can have some construction paper to add to it. Capstone books. So it's a purchase. So you're actually like buying the ebook. A lot of times when I'm ordering books for my library, they'll often have deals. Like if you buy the hardcover book, then you can get the ebook for free or vice versa. But it's a great way to expand your ebook collection. And what I love about it is once I purchase a book, it is unlimited use. So unlike some other library programs, like if I'm buying a book of, say, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, when I buy that book, it gives us like a single use copy of that book. However, with Capstone, I could have every single student in my school on the same book at the same time. So I also try to bring that around to my teachers, that if they're teaching things like, oh, I can't think of the word right now, but if we're going through like elements of a book, like labels and pictures and different features in a story, they could all have everyone on the same book. Or if they're doing like biographies and kids are picking the same one, they could all pick them. It is not a subscription. You buy the books separately, but once you buy them, they're yours to have. They're also super quick with ebooks. So what I usually like to do at the end of the school year, when I'm trying to spend that last bit of my book money, and I know like if I actually place a book order to a company, it sometimes takes a couple months. The ebooks I can get done almost like in a day or two. Yeah, check out Capstone. Little side note there. All right, and here's what I was talking about with this modification for McAnimals and the for this challenge. So here we're using 3 ducks, and then on the back they have this kit that you can order off their website, and you can just put the little motor on there with the battery, tape them together, and then the motor gives it just enough to have it like wiggle back and forth as they're building it. And information on that will be in the guide as well. So first grade, we're also talking about animals. First, we're starting with animal architects, the needs of plants, animals, and us as humans. I usually put this up on my board and have them come up and we talk about the different pictures there, and they're making connections about the needs of different animals and plants as well. Animal traits we're doing with different and same. So similar to the insects in kindergarten, here we're going into the different traits of animals. So we're taking a little further. And then in this, we have different cards. So once again, there's different categories for them to sort into. So they can have all different discussions with their teams as they go through and sort them. With the cards, I have them spread them out along the table, each pick one, and then decide where it should be. Where's My Mom is our next one. And so we're talking about the similarities and the differences between the parents and the offspring. So this is a great one. Maybe if you are doing some research, you can line it up with that, or they can just pick a favorite animal that they may have a passion about and already know a ton of stuff and pick that. And then they can draw it and find out what's the same and what's different about this. Next, the Watcher. So here we're talking about Jane Goodall and her work, and they're making a termite picker. So there's materials in there that they have to put together to pick something, to build a prototype of something that would be able to pick up the termites in this one. So another great biography connection here. And I know a standard in Texas is talking about Jane Goodall. Next, second grade, the mess we made. So for April, we've got Earth Day coming up. And so students can make posters. You can take these, extend it beyond your class, and encourage them to put them around the school to share about recycling and making good choices for the earth. Save the bees. We know our kids often get super freaked out whenever they see bees coming out for the season, but this is a great way of showing the importance of bees in our environment, and then they can make little bees to show how the importance of the bee and taking the pollen and moving it from flower to flower for pollination. The Honeybee Man. So this one is a great twofold because it's talking about honeybees and how they all work together. But this is also a great, like, as it's the end of the year and they're kind of getting a little frustrated maybe in their teams. This is a great team building activity. So in this, all the different teammates have a job. And so in here, you see this like tower of paper and cups. And so the thing is that the team has to build this tower, but each person has a job. So only one person can actually go and look at what the tower looks like and then has to explain it. And so no one person can be successful because if not everyone on the team is working together, like the bees, then they're not able to complete the challenge. So this is a great one, just kind of resetting your classroom maybe after spring break as we're heading into the end of the year. And then if you hold the seed, we're talking about now the needs of plants. So this is a plant investigation. With these type of investigations, sometimes what I'll try to do is talk to my student, talk to the classroom teachers. And so things like this are where I'll start it in the classroom with me, give the introduction, but then I'll take the experiment and send it back to the class with them so that because I only see them twice every other week, they're not going to see the progress of what's happening in the investigation. So if it's in their classroom, then they can kind of do a daily check with their teachers in about it. Third grade, the dumpster diver. Once again, good with Earth Day. We're talking about recycling. And here they have to make something with the makerspace using those recyclables. Next, the water hole. We're talking about water collection. And so they are building an invention that would help collect water to be reused. And then next we have Good Eating, which is about the food chain. So this is a fun art connection. So in this bottom picture, they're coming up with a food chain, but then they're expressing it artistically. So inside, I think it was like a grasshopper or something. So you have like a bug, and then you have a mouse eating it, and then you have the snake eating the mouse, and then you have the eagle eating the snake, or hawk, something like that. But so they first are coming up with that food chain, and then they are making it piece by piece as one eats the next. And then it comes out with this. So because of that, they really need the 2 days to work on this. So that's why I have that set as just 3 things for this month. 4th grade, the girl with the mind for math. So here they're building using water, making a boat. We know they always love to use water. If it's nice out, you can always take it outside for them to do, or I usually just put some bins on the tables so we can do it in class together, and then have a little meetup at the end where we go over with each one, see what worked, what didn't work. Next, weathering and erosion for earth science with what shapes the land. So here we're using sand and seeing how erosion affects it. And then going into all the different types of weathering that are in there as well with a little matchup. More with natural resources, Olivia's birds. They're talking about how they can use harvest natural resources as ways to cut down on the use of less earth-friendly ways. And this is a great connection because it's a idea from a student with who Olivia was. And then our last one, what do you do with a tail like that? We're talking about tails, what animals they belong to, how the tails help, and then they get to create their own animal after that. We just use some makerspace materials. You could see there where they're using a toilet paper roll to do it and some toothpicks for their little porcupine there. And then 5th grade, we are going into water protectors. So once again, we've got some posters going on, thinking about an event they could do that can help. So maybe it's something about being less wasteful in the cafeteria. Maybe it's as they're walking to school, if they see some trash, to pick it up. Kind of giving our 5th graders that like oomph to go out and do something good for the world, and see the power they have even at a young age to make changes. Next, we have water on the earth and talking about natural resources. So what kind of resources we have plenty of, which ones we have a limited supply of, and how our choices can affect those things. Then for some fun with Easter, we have an egg drop in there that you can do with a real egg or with a plastic egg with some rocks or other materials inside to simulate that. And then another great connection to real world, Ada's violin. So it's a story, and the students do not have musical instruments, but they're making this orchestra of found materials where they're putting things together. So here the students are taking makerspace materials once again, seeing the possibilities in them and creating their own musical instruments. All right, so just a little bit inside our program at Randolph. This last week we had our family night. So our newest family night set is our Winter Games family night. So here are some pictures we had from it. This was our largest one. We had 100 more people, 100 more students from last year's spring family night to this year's. We've had like a steady increase over the last 2 years as we're doing these. And I think our STEM connections get our kids really excited and our parents involved in it. And it's great being able to see our families come in, get an idea of what we're doing, and sharing that with our students. So here we've got, they're making family flags. We've got some snap cubes. This is more of the flag creation. here they were making medals. And then here we have a little ring toss for the 5 rings of the Olympics. Of course, we got to have our creativity challenges in there. We've got some coding. We've got some math. We had our push and pull here with curling and then skiing. The great part of our skiing one was our parents and the other teachers in the school being able to see like how the engineering design process works with our kids. And so as I was walking around, they were commenting about like, oh yeah, they keep coming back and trying it again and trying again and adding and fixing and improving on theirs. So made my little STEM heart happy, because even when they're not in my classroom and I'm taking them through those steps purposely, they're still doing it on their own, because that's what they know to do. So just some other things that go on with it. So our art club, which is our 4th and 5th graders, our art teacher decided to take the idea of the medals and actually create something with it. So they made metal medals. She had like thin pieces of metal that were already pre-cut. The kids were able to use a wooden stylus on a mouse pad, and she had some templates for them to emboss them, and then some paint markers and Sharpies for them to decorate them. And what's great about that too is members of the art club are the ones at the table working with the other students. So it's a great way for our club to give back. On base, we have our own library. So we invited our library to come. They were great. You can see kind of here, there's like this little ski slope. So when I told them that we were doing STEM based on the Winter Olympics, they brought their own STEM lesson on there. And then they have STEM bins available for checkout at the library. So that's what's on the tables there. They kind of used it to promote that, that's an option for parents to check those out at the library as well. And then Kids Strong is a brand new group we have in Cibolo, where I live. And they had reached out to us just saying, hey, we're a new business in town. Is there any way we can help support your school? Which was perfect timing. Once again, we said, hey, yep, we're having this family night. It's Olympic based. Could you do something for that? And so they came and they set up a little obstacle course for our kids in the gym. So reaching out to your community is a great way of enhancing your family nights, taking some pressure off of you to create other things, and just making those options available to your parents. With this, we also had our art show going on. So between our fall family night and our summer family night, the art teacher will put out different grades of artwork. And then our music teacher always has some kind of musical performance that night as well. So while families are there, 5th grade did it in the fall. We had 2nd grade do it here in the spring. And she's great about like bringing things in with our theme as well. So this performance was like a whole production. She did amazing. She had some jock jams going on as the kids from each grade, from each class were getting announced and come in. She had an Olympic theme, like We Will Rock You and Go the Distance from Hercules. It was a fantastic production that she put on, and a great way for us to end our night. And also with this culminated the last couple of weeks of me working with our 3rd through 5th graders on our St. Jude Epic Challenge. So what I found last year when I did the St. Jude Challenge, the kids did some great innovations at that time. However, I did it by itself, just with Book Fair, and it didn't bring as many people. By putting it with our family night this year, we had a lot more foot traffic in there, and raised $870 for St. Jude's. And it's great because the kids got to see their work being showcased for everyone. So here, just a little bit more on that. The way I do it, we have our printable tickets that are in the guide on the membership. And then I just tape a little envelope in front of each one. And then parents, for every $1 they donate, they get a ticket, and then they can go put those tickets into vote And then I pick a 3rd through 5th grade, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd based on votes. So those are some of the projects that our students did this year. One thing I did learn, I did not realize I should have made a brand new fundraiser for this year. So we like tagged on to last year. So my number that we raised looks more online because some money is in there still from last year. So just something that I learned this year. All right, other stuff going on here. Some of those pre-K lessons that I just talked about. So my lesson learned here, when I was doing the sink or float, I was like, oh, this will be great. Let me do this tray to keep it contained and put a smaller container of water. But the boats did not fit fully in there. So that was a little oops by me. And then I had like a spoon too that we were going to test, which wouldn't fit. So we just kind of quickly pivoted after that, continued with some different things, but test what you're going to sink or float and make sure it fits in your water before. And then here's those ducks. When you're doing this, I would cut all of these apart into single ones so they're more mixed up. But sometimes teacher life happens. I was doing this quickly. Our laminator had been down. So my only option was to quickly laminate them, like maybe an hour before the kids were coming, and then just quickly like trim the edges of it. So it worked fine, but yeah, I would cut them apart as they're meant to be. All right, so what is new? We've got 2 new challenges for you. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs is now available. They have to build a table that is big enough for Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs and fit all their food on there. And then here we have another option with the 3 Little Pigs, where this time they were building a trap for the wolf. So these are on there now. These 2 are already added to the membership. Also coming soon, within the next couple of days, Carly and I are just finishing up more of those task cards. So we have St. Patrick's Day coming for you with a variety. And then 2 Easter ones are coming as well. So look out for those on the membership too. So our Canva tip of the month, we are talking about bulk create. So this will help you when you're creating something that you would have to do multiples of in a few little clicks. So when I was doing my St. Jude's projects, I wanted to make sure that I had a little tent card for each class that said what grade they were in and who their teacher was. So in the past, I've done this where I've just like typed everything out, but then I remembered about bulk create. So here I just have that simple template. I wanted the grade on there and I wanted the teacher, and then I just put the little epic challenge up there. From there, then I'm going to go to Sheets, which is like Canva's Excel. So I open up a new one and I just made a very simple one, inputting the grade levels and the teachers. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then each teacher that belongs into there. Then I go back into my tent and I'm going over to apps. In apps, I'm going to select bulk create there. And then I need to go into Sheets. That's telling me where I have it. You do have the option, if you do use Google and you already have that information there, you can do it there. But our school does not use Google anymore. So I went back into my Sheets. I selected that. I was able to find it right here where it says this is the teacher's sheet that I had created. That's going to come in. I just verify that that's the right information, and I'm going to click done. And then next thing I need to do is I need to connect each set of data. So I have teacher here and I have teacher here. I have to click that and then connect it to the data up here, and then do the same thing on the other side. Then I repeat the same thing with grade. So here's grade. I'm connecting it to the column grade, doing that here and here. So now you can see these purple boxes where it has grade, grade, teacher, teacher, it shows that that information is connected. And then I hit continue. And then I want to create all 15 designs. So you can see there it has 3rd grade Miss Duenas, 3rd grade Miss Cunningham, all the way down. So I have 5 teachers per grade. I'm creating 15 new designs. And then when I do that, this doc opens up. And then it has all the different ones already set in there. So what's great is if you want to do different tent cards for maybe different projects that are going on, you create that one sheet at the beginning of the year. Each year you can just update it and then easily use bulk create going on there. All right, next, shouting out some of our awesome members, STEMspirations. So here we have Miss Smith with some creativity challenges. Here they were doing It's Not a Heart, and she shared these out. And we can see the variety of things that her students came up with. Dorothy W. commented on our winter games. So she used the challenges for the winter games and then wanted to take it a step further. So I love the fact in here, in her comment, she talks about using Google Sheets to track the medals. I know that's one of the things my 5th grade teachers had just asked about is, hey, can I take them through using Microsoft Word? Because a lot of them did not have those skills yet. So anytime that we can take things and connect it to something else is a great way to give them some extra information. And then she also tied it into 3D printing, where they created these awesome 3D printed medals. So thanks for sharing that, Dorothy. Mrs. Raleigh did the sun, the wind, and the rain. And so she showed her students here creating their setups, talking about erosion and changing the Earth's surface. Here we have KDK also looking at those creativity challenges, and she used the ones for the winter games. So here you have a variety there with It's Not a Ring, It's Not a Medal, and It's Not a Puck. And then Mrs. Wright used our figure skating STEM challenge. Here, I know my students absolutely love this one. I had one parent say that her son keeps getting the magnets off the refrigerator using his at home. So this one was a big hit in our school, and I'm glad it was there as well. Next thing I just wanted to share out, back in September, October timeframe, we were talking about using the skulls and the paper circuits by Brown Dog Gadgets. And they had done an awesome giveaway. At that time, I talked about a PD that I did last summer with them through Pathfinders. So I was able to make, I turned mine into Wally. This is all with microbits and Lego. They also send you the pieces to make the remote control for it, as well as a bunch of other different projects that we did. It's a great PD that they do. Is on Zoom. They send you everything that you need for it. I know microbits is always something that like I have, but I'm always looking for how to use it better. And so this was a great PD. I just got the email this morning that registration is open. So if you're looking for something to do this summer, check it out, and you can sign up with them. And if you're on the Pathfinder site, there's some other awesome opportunities as well. All of it is free PD for teachers. So something to check out in between our book study and our summit, of course. All right, save the date. Like Carly and Adam said, April 8th will be our next planning webinar where we will be talking about May already. When you come back for that, we will be announcing our book for our book study, and one lucky winner will actually win that book to start with. And then we have our Teacher Summit coming up. The Summer Summit is a 3-day online conference. This year is July 23rd through 25th. So make sure you put that aside. But also remember, if you are a member, the Teacher Summit is included in the membership, and that is recorded. So if hopefully maybe you're enjoying summer out on a beach somewhere and don't want to be on your computer, you can check back in with us after and watch all those great sessions. So if you're not part of the membership and now see all the benefits to it, you can join using the Carly and Adam Club that will give you 30% off your first month. Or if you want to dive into that annual membership, you can save 30% for the entire year. If you're using up funds for school, we can get you a PO. If you just email, they can work with your school to get it through that way. The regular membership is usually $15 a month, annual usually $144, so 30% off is a great deal. And that includes the 3-day summit. So you can't go to a conference for that cheap anywhere else. So check it out, join the membership. And then this is your last chance. If you have not commented, make sure you comment for our giveaway of Clixo, and that code is there too for you if you want to buy some on your own.
All right. Awesome, as always.
I saw we had several friends that with the time change got confused. So the replay will be on Facebook for a few days, but if you're already a member, you can just log in to the April section. The replay will be up there in the April section, and then you have all of the resources, the guide, all the Canvas slides for the monthly lessons are all in the April section. So no worries. Also with the Olivia's Birds lesson, I just added a video to the Canvas slides this week. I found a video of like the actual like Olivia, the girl, talking about her drawings and how she worked with the Audubon Society to raise money to help the birds. And honestly, if I was doing it in my classroom, I feel like the book is great. And maybe I would have the book in my classroom for the kids to look at, but it is kind of long and kind of bulky. And I love the video of the actual girl talking about what she did and how she can help and encouraging other kids to help. I think that's kind of more impactful. So if like you're short on time, I would go for that video over the read aloud video.
All right. You guys ready for a giveaway? We're giving away some of those Clixos. And as long as you've commented, you are entered. So here we go. All right.
Laura.
Oh, what a cute doggy. Look at that cute doggy. Laura Dixon Roberts, you are our winner. You just need to email info@Carly and Adam blog and with your address, and we will ship those to you. So
yes, email info@Carly and Adam blog, and then we will get that information to Connie Ann, so she will ship that to you.
Oh, okay. That's how this time. Okay. Yeah, awesome stuff. I know a lot of people are excited about the family STEM nights. We got a ton of those in the membership. We do one every year. We've been doing the Mad Scientist one the last couple of years at our kids' school. So, it's always a big hit.
Yeah, if you're a member and you don't know, if you click on STEM centers, there's, I don't know.
You can use any of the STEM
like
centers
5
for that too.
Maybe, what do we have, 4 or 5 different ones now? Family STEM nights. And then you can also
Fairy tales, the Olympics, wizarding, Mad Science, STEM. Yeah, 5, I believe.
5. And then the same format of the family nights is the same format of all the centers. So you can mix and match any of the centers with any of the family nights to like create your own custom family night or whatever you want to do.
They're super fun, super versatile. You can use them for a lot of different things. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you again.
Oh, I was going to say this, like anytime it's like, we always have our teachers come and pick them, and they appreciate the fact that everything is planned for them, that they don't have to make something on their own. So what I do each time, I print out the entire booklet for our family nights and then just put it in a binder. And then the teachers come in with Post-it notes, and then they pick 2 per grade level. And then during the Monday before we're starting, I literally put everything in bins for them, pass it to them. So it's like no extra buy-in by our teachers because everything is already done for them. So it's a super easy way to add STEM to your classroom. To your school's program. And then you could also mix and match. So If you aren't doing like one giant theme, you can mix them up and pick from all different ones. So
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you again, Connie Ann. Awesome Canva tips, awesome tips for all the lessons as always. We will see you guys on April the 8th, I want to say.
Yep.
And we will be giving away a copy of our book study
Yeah,
book.
and we'll be announcing the book study book, so you better be there. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Have a good evening.